What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ Review, and I'm here to give my review of the new John Cena film, Playing with Fire. That's right, I took my son out to see this movie a couple nights ago, and it reminds me of the old family movies. You know, the ones that we don't get today. Most of our family movies today are either trying to be epic or super special effects heavy or fantasy heavy or whatever it might be, and this is very much in the vein of like the mid to late 90s, maybe early 2000s family comedies. So in this, you got a group of firemen, but they're not firemen. They're smoke jumpers. Smoke jumpers. In this, you've got a group of firemen, smoke jumpers, who save these three kids from a fire out in the woods, and they bring them back to the fire department. And under legal precedents, they're not allowed to. They have to give care to these kids until the legal guardians come parents of legal guardians come to get them. And throughout the course of the movie, they learn that the kids have no legal guardians, they have no parents. So what happens is, more or less, these firefighters fall for these kids in a good way, right? In a good way, in a way that you're supposed to fall for kids that you care about, not in a creepy way. Even though there are some creepy moments in this movie, I'll talk about those in a second. This movie was fine. You know, this is not a movie that I'm going to ever sit back in my house and say, boy, I'd really like to watch Playing with Fire, and then turn it on and watch it. But for a family comedy where I could take my son, who's 11, or I could take him out for a guy's night and just have a nice little movie night with my son, it was fine. He liked it a lot more than I did. And, you know, I've seen some reviews where some people have said, man, I just don't think kids would like this. Bull. I don't know if you have kids, because my kid loved it. He laughed the whole time. There's a couple times I had to tell him shh, because he was laughing so loud, because he was literally busting a gut at the movie. There are poop jokes. There are fart jokes. It is definitely very immature humor. But it's a kid's movie. And that's what I think we have to remember when we're watching something like this, is, does it reach its audience? Does it do what it's supposed to do for its audience? And with this movie, I gotta say, yeah, it does what it's supposed to do for its audience. My son laughed, and he laughed hard, and he laughed a lot, more than any movie I've ever taken him to. I'm not saying this is the funniest movie that he's ever seen or anything like that, but for whatever reason, that night, this movie hit him well, and he just laughed a lot. Great cast. You know, and here's the thing, John Cena is not a good actor, and there was no point in this movie where I was blown away by his acting. Not one point. And here's the thing, is that the points in the movie that were supposed to get emotional, like the points in the movie where there was supposed to be connections made with the kids, that was never done by John Cena. It really wasn't. He had a nice rescue scene at the end of the movie. He had some nice moments where he was trying to connect to the kids, but whenever there was any heavy lifting that had to happen as far as emotions were concerned, they would give that to John Leguizamo, or they would give that to Keegan-Michael Key, or they would give that to Judy Greer, right? They would give the heavy lifting to the actual accomplished actors. So John Cena was fine in this movie in the capacity that he was in it. And yeah, he's the lead. He's the main actor in this movie. But all that being said, when it came time for heavy lifting, other people did it. Other people did the heavy lifting. Let's get to some of the creepy stuff. There was some creepy moments in this movie. Some weird moments where I just, as a parent, I was like, there's a scene where they're out in the woods and they're hiking and they're far away from any kind of bathroom. And John Cena has to go number 2. So there's a point in the movie where he's out in the woods and he's like, I gotta go. And the little girl's like, no, don't leave me. So he's holding her in front of him while he's squatting down and trying to poop. And he's talking, don't make eye contact. That just all seemed a little creepy to me. You know, I didn't care for that. I also didn't care for, I get it. John Cena is a big buff guy. He's in great shape. There's a lot of shirtless scenes with John Cena. Even a scene in the shower where he's scrubbing. I was like, this is a kids movie. I just don't know. I guess the shower scene was fine. I mean, all you saw was like his chest up. So I guess it was fine, but the whole pooping scene, oh man, that was just bad. I didn't like that at all. But all right, so they're trying to make people laugh. They're trying to put these people in these situations that are not normal, not common, to get a laugh, especially get a laugh out of kids. And it worked. Like I said, it worked. So overall, for me, this movie's like a C minus. For my son, it was like a B plus. I mean, he really liked it, and he really had a good time watching it. So I guess take that for what it's worth. For me, it's gonna be like a C minus. For him, it's like a B plus. So one thing I will say is that this is a movie about firefighters, and I've got family in my family right now that are firefighters, and this is a movie about firefighters, and there's really only one scene, in the very beginning, and then about maybe 15 minutes into the movie, that actually shows them fighting fires. The rest of the movie is just them kind of being dummies. To be honest with you, it's just them kind of being dummies. With these kids, these three kids. So there's a point in the movie where they even refer themselves as superheroes. Well, one guy refers to himself as a superhero. And that would have been fine. Honestly, that would have been fine if they would have shown them doing any real super heroics, right? We got a little bit in the beginning of the movie that was playing with super heroic music, and they were doing their thing, and they were locking things down, and where's my ready team? Everywhere! I mean, that was a good scene. The second scene was mostly slapstick, him attached to a cord and getting pulled around the house. It's on fire. So, I don't know. I would like to see, since this is a kids movie, and since firefighters in our culture are, especially since 9/11, are admired, I'd like to see a little more things in the movie that kind of rouse that admiration. That's all. But overall, I enjoyed it enough for what it is. I've seen a lot of people trashing it online, and I don't think it deserves to get trashed. You just got to understand that it's not made for you. It's not made for me. It's made for kids. And the kid that I know loved it. So that's how I take it. How do you take it? Have you seen Playing with Fire? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to think about it. And as always, thank you for being here at the Oki Review, where we talk about all of the geeky, nerdy stuff we love to talk about. And until next time, we'll see you later.
Every single day